Well, first tonight at 5, a story that's setting the temp for students to explore the world of music, regardless of their family's financial situation. KTIV's Gabriela Quinones joins us live in the studio tonight with the details.
The National Association for Music Education believes access to music in school is important, but the cost of musical instruments can be a barrier for some families. That's why a music teacher in Sioux City, Nebraska gives away instruments to students who want to pursue music but may not have the means to do so.
My family can't afford the piano, and I really wanted to learn piano, so it meant a lot to me.
8th grader Genesis Hernandez isn't just talking about the gift of music, but the piano her choir teacher gave her last year. Now Hernandez is learning to play the piano for her church, but she's not stopping there.
They're currently teaching us a church song, and first I want to learn it and then get it down because right now I don't have it. But then I really want to start learning the violin.
Hernandez is able to pursue her music dreams because of the generosity of Esley Ovando, the choir director in the Sioux City schools. She gave Hernandez the piano for free.
I just saw the need that kids needed access to music education. The talent here in Sioux is phenomenal, and kids need to be shown, kids need to be supported, kids need to be encouraged. And if it wasn't for my teachers, I wouldn't be here today as an educator and as a performer.
Ovando welcomes students to email her if they need an instrument. She takes new, used, and broken instruments to fix herself. Then she gives them to a student who needs one.
I do get emails. It is Miss O. I really want to play the guitar because this will be an outlet for me because I'm going through this at home. This is when I'm going through XYZ. And that's it.
Ovando says she relates to the struggles some of her students are going through.
Every sort of stereotype, every sort of hardship, every sort of, sad emotions, anxiety, depression, nervousness, I had that as a kid with the life that I had.
With the help of their teachers, both Ovando and Hernandez are able to pursue music.
It impacts me now because I have something to do, and it was one of my hobbies before, and now that I have a physical piano and take lessons, it's really fun.
In Sioux City, Nebraska, Gabriela Quinones, KTIV News 4. Ovando's goal is to help 10 students this year.
All right, KTIV's Gabriela Quinones live in studio for us tonight. Gabriela, thanks for the update.